Boy, you know what time it is.
Welcome to the Bromigos Podcast.
Fuck it right in the pussy.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Panama Red, and welcome to the Bromigos Podcast. I'm here with my co-host,
Daint Money, what's poppin', baby?
Hoochie Man Hunter.
And of course, your undercover brother, Motorboat and Matt.
Yeah. You know, it's a beautiful day outside today. Hey, how y'all fellas doing, man?
I'm doing great.
I feel wonderful.
Doing
I
great.
really do feel wonderful. It's been a very interesting week for a couple of people in this room. But before we get into that, Mike, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, man. Hey,
You wanna
listen.
start off?
Listen, people. Whether you're male or female, please understand no means no. Stop stalking people. Stop writing people. Stop following them, creating fake profiles, all that dumb shit.
Man, we gotta stand.
No means no, people. Yeah. Fuck.
Mike must be Eminem, bro. He gotta stand. He gotta stand.
I'm just throwing it out there, bro.
Oh, dude.
No means no. Fucking A. No means no. When someone says they're not interested, they're not interested. Keep it moving.
Facts. Unless
That's all I gotta say about
unless they say no to the blunt, that means they want it. They just cap it.
Nah, don't ever say no to the blunt.
Don't be stupid.
Don't ever say no to the blunt. Hey, man, real quick. Have y'all seen the Instagram model that almost died from AIDS?
No.
What?
Yes.
Which
What
one was
was
this?
Oh, man.
Was that the one you sent in the DMs to Dante?
No.
last night?
That's not it.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
who that bitch
That's not
was. She
it.
was ugly.
Because I know that was you. That wasn't me.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck is this?
And I was like, yep, that's definitely Mike sending it.
Yeah, so this Instagram model, I'm gonna find her name real quick, right?
Show me. I gotta see a photo of her. I didn't hear about this.
Was
Matt
linked.
needs it for research purposes.
Yeah, right. and for the spank bang. Baby.
Yeah. So she was linked. Her name was here we go. Gina2, GENATEW, right? She was linked to the likes of Nick Cannon, Chris Brown, and Keith Chief, and found out that
Chief Keef.
Yeah, Chief Keef. Like I
What
haven't
was that you were just
I haven't
saying?
heard of Chief Keef since Love Sosa, right? So, and granted, I don't even really like his music. Love Sosa was tough though.
Bang, bang.
10 years went without, getting tested, and then almost died because she has the HIV. Like, first off, it's okay to be promiscuous. It's okay to live your best life. It's okay, male or female. You get no judgment from me.
Promiscuous girl, wherever you
know what I'm saying?
are.
Do you?
All alone.
Oh shit, we joining in chorus here. It's okay to do what you do, but be safe. And then if you're gonna be raw dogging people, please get tested. Be safe, people. Listen, AIDS is real, and AIDS the shit will kill you, bro.
Wrap it before you tap it.
Dude,
Like, just
some
be
of the
safe.
most famous people, gay or straight, have died from this shit. Look at
Yes.
Freddie Mercury,
Freddie
one of the
goddamn
greatest
Mercury.
fucking frontmen of any band
Yes.
that's ever
Yes.
been in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Died of AIDS, and he probably had so much more to give to the industry at that point. That guy is a fucking genius.
It's wild, bro. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, man, Freddie Mercury's getting AIDS and getting laid at the same time. It's kind of crazy, man.
But it's just it's wild that people are just out here playing Russian roulette with their private parts. You out here, fine. You want to fuck? Go ahead. Do you? Please do. I think people should be do more fucking.
You would think that in 2022 of all years, this would be common knowledge. But as we've basically said in so many words, common sense nowadays is not that common.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Some people love taking risks. That's another thing. They like the risk factor in it.
I mean, fuck that. Even at my peak of sexual promiscuity, you get tested once a month. I wasn't like I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite. I understand that, but even then, if you're not gonna be safe and wrap it up, at least get tested at the bare minimum. That way, whoever you're sleeping with knows, and y'all can keep doing what you're doing.
The difference is you are at least proactive. People are not as proactive in that
And I don't
mindset as
understand
you.
Like
also,
herpes,
wash your dick. Wash your dick. Like, my niggas, wash your dick, man. Come on. You having sex and you just laying there in bed. You ain't putting nothing on, no lotion, no oil. You ain't wiping it off, drying it off. Come on, man. We gotta be better than that. You really want to walk around with your junk all wet and soggy in your pants? That's crazy.
well, I go home and take a shower.
That's crazy to me.
Or
you
when
know?
she leaves, take a shower. That's how I used to do it anyway.
Hey, man, listen, I know some niggas that, they be getting it in, and then afterwards, you say, oh,
That's wild.
My shit's itchy. But speaking of sex, man, you we have two members in here that have been finally joined us on the 69 Whiskey Podcast, which is my other podcast that I had before Bromigos. Panama Red and Daint Money had the pleasure of joining us. Hunter, I wish you were there, and when I tell this story, you'll know why I wish you were there.
Yeah.
So this episode's going to air after the 69 Whiskey episode, so you guys can go check that out. But I just want to say, Dante, man, I want to thank you, and I'll tell you why. Because you had a look on your face about halfway through that reminded me of a very specific story that I have the permission to tell on behalf of my co-host, Eric. You look so fucking uncomfortable.
Yes, I was.
It was so fun. For me, it was hilarious because, and I'll tell you why. A couple of years ago now, when me and Eric were in college at Rider, I was at his place that he rented with a couple of guys, and he was telling me this story of he was with a former submissive at the time, years past, and he showed me a photo, and this photo was a picture of her ass. Right now, you knowing that he's a very eccentric masochist.
He's different.
He's a different breed. He's got that dog in him, as we like to say in society.
It's not what I would say, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I wouldn't call it
when
that
it comes to
dog either.
sexuality, he's got that dog in him to do some things that not many people might not be brave enough to do.
I would better say freak, maybe.
Freak
Like,
might
got
be
that
freak might be
in
a
him.
good another
And
name
little
for that
ain't
too.
the word either. But go ahead.
So he showed me this photo of this girl's ass, and I'll explain to you the photo I was looking at. So basically, the photo was the picture of the girl's ass, but it was all red, maybe some cuts here and there from some of the tools he was using.
Tools?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Was he going Bob the Builder on that ass? Like,
Well, I can tell you what tools
Fucking
he was
home
using.
improvement.
I'll tell you what tools he was using, man. He had a machete that he used the flat side of and to spank. He wouldn't use the edge, but he had the machete that, I don't know why he had a machete, but he would spank
Wait,
the
is a
girl's
hand
ass
not good enough?
No.
on behalf of the girl's request, might I add. This is all consensual. And something called a monkey branch. Now, a monkey branch is some sort of wooden branch. I don't really know how to
It's a
explain
tree
it.
branch.
It's a tree branch, more or less, in some way, shape, or form. So he was using that, and he showed me the photo of this girl's ass. And I can say this much. The face I had that day, I did not see my face, but I could imagine it was priceless. Your face during the course of that recording was exactly the look I had.
yeah.
I didn't say another word for another hour after that.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable.
I'm not even gonna hold y'all, man. That was one of the most uncomfortable situations of my entire life. I mean, I was listening to stories that I never thought I would hear ever. Listen,
Yeah,
the story he told about, fucking this girl in the church, that was funny as hell.
That was funny as fuck.
That was funny.
I love that story.
Then he started getting all this BDSM shit. Listen, I like Rihanna too, but chains and whips do not excite me.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't.
And,
They don't.
I didn't even want to continue talking about it. It was
man.
so. Once he started talking the story about the Swiss seat, I was just like, I'm done. I'm good. This is too much.
It's too much for me. It's too much.
This is wild.
No hate.
Well,
no hate. It's just
Yeah.
that's just not my thing. Baby. It's not my
listen,
thing, baby.
We don't kink shame on that show though. So.
Yeah, no.
I'm not even king shaming. I mean,
I'm just being shameful. I'm like, goddamn.
that shit is just,
It's like my favorite line was Mike when he's like, "Man, I thought I was a freak. I ain't never
but
fucked in a
I
church in
guess
my
there
life."
we're gonna define freak differently because I'm into some. He's into some kinky shit. I'm into some nasty shit.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Completely different.
Like
I agree.
I would do nasty shit wherever, however, whenever. It doesn't matter. That shit seems like it needs to be planned, bro.
Well, that's the thing. He has to plan it.
See, and that's not
That whole thing with the Swiss seat, that's stuff that he must have meticulously put together to please his current submissive that he's with or whatever the fuck. And meanwhile, he's out here saying, "Oh, hey, miss, here's a chastity belt for you." And I'm like, you better fuck right the hell
I hope
off.
you don't do none of that shit.
We don't do that.
But hey, man, we on the Bromigos podcast, and I'm sure we got something to talk about today.
Yo,
we was talking for the past couple of days, past couple of hours about different topics that we wanted to talk about on the show. I think Mike got a couple things he want to get off his
I
chest.
got a whole list of shit.
I want to hear it, man. I want to hear it. What we talking about today?
Brittney Griner.
Brittney Griner.
What's the update on
We
that?
got a trade.
So, and that's a good way to put it because the U.S. government is out here making trades for Brittney Griner. Listen, just my perspective. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either.
We're gonna give them a known arms dealer for Brittney Griner and a bench player.
And a third round pick.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We're actually going to give them. We're actually going to do a prisoner exchange.
They're in talks about it for a prisoner exchange. I can't remember the gentleman's name. All I know is that he's a known arms dealer, right? Yeah. So we're gonna give especially what's going on with Russia and Ukraine currently. You're gonna give them an arms dealer.
Come on, man.
For Brittney Griner and a third round pick. Pretty much. I think his name's Wheeler is the last guy. I don't know.
I don't know what his name is. I don't give a fuck. But this is my opinion on the whole Brittney Griner thing.
No.
Here it is.
Paul Whelan.
I'm Paul Whelan. He's Russian?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what does this have to do with Russia? That's the most white
Oh, wait,
name
no,
I've
that's
ever heard.
that's
the guy. That's the other guy. The other gentleman who
the Russian guy.
That's the third round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the third round pick. The Russian guy is Konstantin Yaroshenko.
And
that's Russian.
I understand how a lot of people are happy about this. I believe it sets a bad precedent, right?
Yeah.
So all we got to do is kidnap American celebrities, and then we can get back terrorists, people who are involved in organized crime. I don't agree with it. I'm sorry. I still am of the belief, like, I feel bad for her, but she made a fucking poor choice.
Yeah, she made a poor decision. And then the thing is that we had talked about this before. Every single country is not as progressive as we are. So yeah, she might have brought those oils in there thinking it was okay, or maybe she knew prior that it wasn't okay. Maybe she's done it before and never got caught. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. But I will say this. It is not right in the eyes of the law, especially the way both of our countries are going right now at each other, that we are giving Russia a well-known arms dealer for an athlete. Yeah. That's insane to me.
That's insane.
And the thing I really didn't like was that it was a member of the WNBA, and we had talked about this before, when she had said that, if this was LeBron James, he would be back over here immediately.
Yeah.
One, you're right. Number two, that's still not fair. And the reason why it's not fair is because no one is saying that she doesn't doesn't need to be back here because she's a woman or because she's a female basketball player. That's not the thing. It's the fact that she did something that was against the law in another country, and we are moving mountains to get her back over here. Yeah. I'm gonna be real honest. Brittney Griner ain't that damn important.
Nope.
I'm sorry. And if you don't like it, suck it up. Yeah. That's the reality of the situation. Let's be real. This is the most publicity the WNBA has gotten in years, and it has nothing to do with basketball. And they still won't take
advantage of it to make their organization bigger.
You know what's even more fucked up, though? Imagine if this deal goes through imagine what people are going to think about the WNBA. Yeah. If we thought that people did not like the WNBA before for whatever reason, imagine what it's going to be like if that deal goes through.
And it's not fair. It sucks because it's like, wow, now people are going to have another reason to hate on a league that already doesn't get enough popularity, which, it's unfair, but that's just the reality of the situation.
My whole thing is, like, imagine if Hoochie Manhunter was over there, right?
Right.
And he's the one who walked in with this oil and he got arrested. Would anyone outside of his family and the people that know him give a fuck?
No one would give a flying fuck.
And they would
Hunter.
say, well, damn it, Hoochie Man, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yep.
Here's the thing, Hunter, man. I love you to death, brother, but you're staying in the gulag.
Yeah,
we can't get you back unless we're all going to go on a secret mission, Navy SEAL style. There's no way we're getting you, buddy.
Hoochie Man's going to turn into Comrade Hunter.
Comrade Hunter.
He's going to come back with vodka. Do you want vodka, comrade?
But speaking of the WNBA, we were talking about this last night. Elizabeth Cambage.
Oh, man.
Now,
it's not the LA Sparks.
let me tell you something about Elizabeth Cambage. First of all, she's a bitch. She's a bitch.
She's fine, though.
Okay? Yeah, she bad as hell, but she's a bitch. I don't know if you guys know what she's done while she's been in the league.
No.
But multiple times. First of all, she's racist. She's racist.
Racist towards what? Or who?
Racist towards Nigerians. Now, people don't know is that Elizabeth Cambage is from Australia. She's probably the best Australian basketball player to ever come out of the country over the past couple of years.
I thought that was Kyrie Irving.
That don't count. He's a Jersey boy. But, with Australian basketball players, it's probably like her, Patty Mills, Lauren Jackson.
She ain't black?
She looks like if
she's still black, but she's from Australia. You never heard her talk before?
No.
She's from Australia.
I
want to say she looks like if Anthony Davis was a woman.
Wow.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because Anthony Davis is not good looking at all.
He's ugly as hell.
That's why I said it.
My
Elizabeth
sexuality.
Like, Elizabeth Cambage might be 6'5", 6'4", but she could get it.
Oh
my God.
She's 6'8", by the way. Same height as LeBron.
Even better.
Even better.
Listen, I'm a monkey and I'm gonna climb that tree. You feel me? Now, listen. Elizabeth Cambage has had multiple incidents where she's said things to Nigerian players during the Olympics. This is not the first time that she's gotten out of a contract because of a dispute with players on her team. She did the same thing in Tulsa, did the same thing in Dallas, and if people don't even know, she was in Tulsa when she first got drafted, but what happened was she had a contract dispute. She decided to get out of her contract, and she left the league for a couple years. Then when she came back, she played for Dallas. And then, these are where the issues arise. When she joined the Sparks this year, the whole plan was for her to be the centerpiece of their offense. She's one of the best players in the league. Elizabeth Cambage can play.
Is she the center of the actual formations, I guess you can say, like how in this case Anthony Davis would play?
She's a center. Yeah,
okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, she's their center. Yeah, she's a great player. She's a great player. But her incidents with her teammates are the reasons why she has all these problems. This is not the first time that she's gotten to a contract dispute because she's had an issue with a teammate. And the two people that she had an issue with on the Sparks this year were actually players from the Nigerian national team, and they remembered that shit. And they had a terrible relationship. So because she didn't want to be around them, didn't want to play with them, she decided to have a contract divorce, as ESPN said. And we also have to talk about that. Yeah. That is a fucked up statement.
Can I ask you a question before we get on that? Is anybody or you two at all have Nigerian descent within you?
No. I'm pretty sure I probably do.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm black. I don't know what I got in me, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. I was just curious because if you had that sort of
I could be French roots, for all I know, and I would have no idea.
Well, if you had that sort of roots, what would your thoughts be about it?
The melanin in your skin has to come from somewhere. That's what I mean.
It definitely traces back to Africa. There's no doubt in my mind. But Elizabeth Cambage, I always have love and respect for WNBA players because I really don't feel like they get enough love. They are great basketball players. I've said this time and time and time again. If any of you high school male athletes think you are going to beat a WNBA player one-on-one, you're fucking out of your goddamn mind. You're crazy. These are professional basketball players. Well, the thing is that everybody's outlook on the WNBA is sexist. It's sexist.
I don't even think that. I think what people are doing is there's a direct comparison to their male counterparts.
That's the other thing I don't like.
And obviously, like I saw it on TikTok, these guys were clowning for coincidentally Brittney Griner because, are we going to see a 360 dunk? No, regular dunk. Between the legs? No, regular dunk. And they were clowning her. And understand, women aren't as athletic as men. If you put two people at the highest peaks of their athletic career, it's not going to be the same. No woman is jumping like Vince Carter.
No, but they both accomplished such great things. Like, in my opinion, the greatest female basketball player in the world right now to this day is still Diana Taurasi. I've never seen another hooper play like her, like she has. I told y'all the story when I was in Vegas and I saw her drop 43 points. It was second nature to her.
So answer a question for me real quick. Do they play on the same rim as far as the height goes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So what do you think about perhaps lowering the rim?
No.
I mean, it may make the game a little more exciting.
This is the problem because
they're basically essentially playing a man's game.
I hear what you're saying, but here's the problem with that. If you lower the rim for the women's game, what does that say for all little girls growing up playing a game of basketball? You know what it says? No. See, that's not cool because female basketball players are equal to male basketball players.
I get that.
Physically, they aren't. But why do we have to lower the rim just to appeal to male viewers? That's all it would do. But that's really all it would do.
See, I don't like that statement because
why not?
So I'm sorry, I don't know, and I know females that love basketball. Right. I don't see them anywhere promoting, talking about the WNBA.
You're not lying. And that's another thing we gotta get into on this one, because I really think the biggest issue when it comes to the WNBA and its viewership and its fandom is the fact that I don't think enough women support it. And I'm not talking about female athletes. Female athletes will support the WNBA full and through. Yeah. But it's women who like sports, who just won't watch WNBA basketball. Why won't you go to these games? There's no reason these stands should not be filled, at least halfway.
I also don't see the merchandise anywhere.
Nope.
I don't see, you barely see any commercials.
Nope. It comes down to the company. At the end of the day, it comes down to the marketing by the company to do that as well.
Yeah.
And if they're not doing it, especially with all this shit with Brittney Griner, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
And people forget.
Capitalize on it, you fucking idiots.
Even this they're not capitalizing on. So you still don't see, you get every breaking news from ESPN or something like that or whatever, all the news channels that cover sports, the breaking news. Mm-hmm. But no one is really talking about anything else. Right. You get your little 2-minute segment, breaking news, and then they move on. You know what it is too, and this may sound negative, but it really isn't meant to be. Mm-hmm. Think about it like this: everything we've heard from the WNBA has been some sort of, or at least over the course of the last couple of months, has been some sort of clowning or negative thing. Yes. For instance, the MVP trophy during the All-Star game, everybody was clowning that.
$20, by the way.
Brittney Griner.
Now, let's give a little context. That's not the same trophy.
We know that. Brittney Griner. And now this whole thing with the Sparks and
Elizabeth Cambridge. Yeah.
So now there's that. So everything every bit of publicity, and we know we will attest, negative publicity is publicity nonetheless. Publicity, but at the same time, in the sports world, is negative publicity really a good thing right now for the WNBA if they're not going to capitalize on it regardless?
Let me give you something. You know the reason why the WNBA isn't as popular as it really could be?
Tell me why.
They don't have that marketable marquee player that they could have as the face of the league. To me, the WNBA has multiple faces of the league. There are so many great women in that league. I mean, Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, the greatest female. Sue Bird, Candace Parker, and the list goes on and on and on to these great.
Parker, bro?
Candace Parker bad as hell.
She played at Tennessee, right? And I like the since she played at Tennessee.
She's the only 10 I see.
Didn't she marry that motherfucker Okafor?
No. I remember who she married. He actually played in North Carolina, actually. But, she's gay now, so she ain't even in the men no more.
Who, Candace?
But, yeah, she has
a
wife.
Listen, let's talk about this. Oh,
shit. Here we go.
Mike being toxic.
Here we go.
Listen, Candace, that ain't it. No, I'm just kidding. If you're happy in your relationship,
hell
you're
yeah.
happy.
But no, it's like I said, man, marketable players. And, people don't even know. A couple years ago when Skylar...
Look at Hoochie Man Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. Look at them pictures.
Now I got to look this up.
Get you some of that Jolly Green.
It's her and her wife.
Yeah, and her wife taller than she is. Shit.
When Skylar Diggins got drafted a couple years ago, Skylar Diggins was supposed to be the face of the league. Why? Yeah. She was young, she was pretty, she was black, she was a great player. But the thing is, at first, she didn't live up to her potential. Yeah. Now she's playing in Phoenix with Diana Taurasi and Brittney Griner. When she comes back to the league, they have a great team. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year and lost.
Do you feel as though there's going to be a lot of backlash if this trade goes through?
Yes, there will be. And I think
maybe that even her own teammates may possibly look at her in a negative light.
I don't know that. I really think her teammates are very supportive because they want her back and they know. Listen, was it right for her to be detained for something like this?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But I'll put it this way. I say it this way, not because of their laws. It's like, come on, man, we're still doing this over weed. But at the same time, it's in another country. And you can't do that in another country.
And this is
Russia we're talking.
Russia.
Exactly. This is why when people saying, "Oh, it's just weed," this is an American perspective
it's American
on
perspective.
the issue.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily the wrong perspective, right? Because it is just weed. However,
everyone doesn't have the same
and let's take
perspective.
away the fact that it's Russia, right? It's an entirely other country. Before you go to a country and do something, you need to understand their laws before you go in there and bring contraband. Like, let's be real. You didn't think that through.
Listen, Mike, a quarter of my nationality comes from Russia. They've killed people for far less over there.
Привет, comrade.
Yep.
They have sent people to the gulag or have shot them for far less.
I get that. But again, this is coming from an American perspective.
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying is I agree with you. But I'm saying is it could have been much worse for her.
The world doesn't always align with our morality.
Big
you know
facts.
what I'm saying? And honestly, I mean, American morality is questionable anyway, but that's a whole other topic right there.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Well, I got a story for everybody.
Oh boy.
Yesterday.
No,
All right. Now everyone knows what it's, we always talk about being black in America and all other kind of stuff. Well, yesterday I got pulled over in New Jersey, but not in like a place where I felt comfortable. Okay. I was in Bumblefuck, New Jersey. I mean, nothing but farms. Like it was coon country, like I have this thing. Where the fuck?
Like
I was close by Hopewell Valley. That's where I was. I was by Hopewell Valley. And if people don't know where Hopewell is, it's like right on the edge, right by Pennsylvania. And when I tell you it's nothing but farms and endless land of absolutely nothing. That's all it was.
Yeah, because the only other area I can think of is either like New Egypt, Jackson,
right,
or even.
So hold on, what were you doing to get pulled over to begin?
Now in this area where I'm driving, the speed limit changes a lot. It goes like 45, 35, 25, 20, 15, and it's annoying. Now I'm driving down, I'm going 45. I thought I was going the speed limit. Oh, of course, as I'm driving and I see this fucking cop car sitting right there at the cemetery, I was like, oh, fuck. So I'm driving, I got both hands on the wheel, I'm chilling. Of course, the moment I turn around, I'm like, please don't turn them lights on. See the lights go on, he turns around and he's driving behind me for a good mile. First of all, I hate when police do that. I feel like that's race baiting. Okay, I feel like it's race baiting. How come if you want to pull me over, you wait like half a mile, quarter of a mile just to pull me over? That's fucked up. Just pull me over, give me my ticket, and go on with the rest of your day. But that's not how it happened. So he pulls me over, and I'm telling you, this tall white dude with glasses. He's got the white boy cut. Shaved on the sides, got the shit to the side, all kind of stuff on top of his head and everything. And he just looked me dead in my eyes. He said, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I was like, no, sir, I have no idea. He said, well, you were going 45 and a 25. It's a 25 over here by the houses. Can I see your license and registration, please? I said, no problem, sir. I'm just going to reach down into the side of my door and get my wallet out so that I can get my license. For all the white people, that's what we black people have to do. So that way, they don't shoot us. Anyways, so I go up and I try to get my insurance. Now my insurance is actually in that that sun flap, you put down.
Yeah,
you know what that is. Yeah, so it's in there. But my dumbass, I opened up my sunglass holder, which is on top of my car. And anybody who comes in my car knows that's where I keep my weed. Man. No. When I tell you, I opened that shit and I was like, oh, that's not it. And I closed it up so fast. Thank God that man wasn't paying attention. Gave my insurance and I sat there. And when I tell you, I was so scared. If people want to know what it's like as a black person to get pulled over, I will tell you vividly. I was sitting there staring straight at the road, had both hands on the wheel, not moving, but goddamn, I was shaking like I had Tourette's, Matt. I swear to God, shaking the whole time. Because the only thing going on in my mind was, I'm going to get shot. I'm going to get arrested.
Or you're going to get arrested for the weed.
I'm going to get arrested. I didn't know if you saw it.
You can't get arrested for the weed.
You can't get arrested for weed. No.
Oh, yeah, you can't get arrested anymore.
So it's legal. But still,
I was so scared, and I need people to understand. Y'all just don't get the feeling of sitting in a car by yourself when you have a member of law enforcement behind you, because you really don't know what they're going to do. And they have the power to do whatever they want, and they can get away with anything with the right people behind them.
So let me address the critics real quick. Yes, he broke the law, which is why he got pulled over.
Yeah, of course. That's why I got pulled over.
He broke the law, which is why he got pulled over. Cool, get it. No one should have to live with that kind of fear. It's the same fear. I've been home almost 2 years now. I understand. I specifically put in the back of my car like Afghanistan veteran, and I put on the other side like the units that I've been stationed at, so that they can understand that I'm a vet, understand that I have issues and shit, because I don't like being threatened in any way, shape, or form. I'm not afraid of a gun at all. That shit don't scare me.
You've dealt with worse.
Exactly. Shit doesn't scare me. So officer pulling a gun on me is probably just going to piss me off, right? And I'm probably
trigger.
I don't like being threatened, period, by anyone. I don't care if you got a knife, gun, does not matter. Don't threaten me, because we my thing is, you're automatically pussy to me because you have to threaten me with a gun knowing I don't have anything. You're threatening me with a gun, you're pussy. Put down a gun, let's throw these hands, see what happens. That's the thing. I just don't like being threatened. So I do my best not to break the law. I don't speed too much. I do like 10 over the speed limit. Or what I do is I like to go with the flow of traffic, so that I don't get fucked with.
Right.
Because I don't want nobody fucking with me. Because you're already going to put me in a nervous situation. He's nervous, I'm nervous. The only difference is they have the fucking gun, right? It's uncomfortable, and I want to segue into something addressing that. It's,
can I ask a question for a segue? Because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have PTSD, right?
Yes, I do.
Does that set off the PTSD too? Like that you black out or anything?
I haven't been in a situation where like that, so I wouldn't even be able to tell.
I was just curious because I know that could be something that people
it probably
with PTSD,
would be able to.
happen.
I don't want to find out what happens, which is why I try to do my best to avoid it. But what I wanted to say, and I was thinking about this on the way because I was on every now and then I get on Facebook to see what people are talking about.
Right.
And and someone was of course addressing as we all do, addressing the race issue in our country. And this is my question, and maybe you two can answer it for me, right?
Yep.
And I'm not saying because you two are specifically guilty of this, but maybe you can help me understand.
Okay.
Why are white people's always their response is, if you don't like it, you can fucking leave? Why is that always the response? Like, if you don't like it in this country, you can fucking leave.
Yeah.
Instead of correcting the error and addressing the problem, it's like, hey, we see this problem, but because it's not our reality and that's not our perception, you can fucking leave. People have been rapping about fuck the police for generations, right?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite
But then
songs
it's
by
like,
NWA.
but it's like, hey, you know what? That's not our perspective, so that's your problem. And if you don't like it in this country, you can fucking leave. Instead of addressing that there's a police brutality issue. Why?
I can't give you a straight answer for that because I've never necessarily felt that way. However, in my head, I can think that maybe that's a trigger for us to say because we hear like celebrities say it so many times, especially when things don't go their way for their reality. So it's like, obviously they never leave. Yeah. So then why the fuck are you still here? So if you want to leave so bad, leave. Yeah. That's probably the only thing I can think of.
So we can in turn say, I'm sorry, go ahead, Hunter.
I was going to say, I've never really said, oh, well, if you don't like it, you need to leave. But I just remember, all the A-list celebrities saying, oh, if Trump got elected, I'd leave. I'd go to Canada. And
like all of them.
Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, it never happened.
Y'all niggas still.
So I've never been in a position where it's like, okay, well, if you don't like it, then leave. But if they say it, then it's like, all right, well, then you can
see, celebrities are funny to me because I'm not saying, I don't want to say that celebrities don't feel the same things that us normal people feel. But I've always felt that a lot of times these celebrities like to be out here saying, oh, especially during the Trump era, oh, if Trump becomes president, I'm leaving, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You know good and well your money's not getting fucked with. So you know good and well you're going to stay. Stop trying to connect with your fans just because you want to, be part of the quote unquote part of the movement. Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit me. I've seen very few. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but like during the pandemic, there was a point in time during the whole Black Lives Matter thing, and a bunch of these different actors went on this commercial, and they were like, "It's gotta stop. I can't take it anymore. Like the way of our country."
So what are you saying, that they're being disingenuous?
Yes. That video was disingenuous as hell. You're telling me they didn't take 3, 4, 5 different takes in order to say those 2, 3 lines?
So what would you? So you're being a tough critic. What would you say is probably the best way for them to use their platform? So because if they're gonna come off, you're gonna say that they're being disingenuous. Then should I then become like if we become celebrities and be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna disconnect because that's no longer my reality?
My thing with this is that one thing I do love about celebrities is when they're going out and talking to these people in their communities. Sometimes they're giving financial support, and my thing has always been, it's cool to talk about stuff on social media and give a post or something, but what are you actually doing in a physical essence? Are you really going to these communities and trying to help them out? Are you trying to do everything you can to make sure that communities that are disenfranchised, that they can help better themselves educationally, financially, socially as well? Because you are in a position where you have way more power than a lot of others. And if you can use that power rather than just using your voice, because a voice can only take you so far.
But hold on. Okay. I'm going to stop you right there because I don't think that that's fair. You want them to use their platform in a specific way. Mm-hmm. And to that, I say, fuck you. Because it's just, and I love you, dude, but it's like, how I use my platform is my prerogative. You may want me to get out there and get my hands dirty and get all in there. Yeah. But I may not want to do that. Some people using their voice is enough. Example, our former president. Yeah. He used his voice to move mountains. He didn't have to go out there and do anything. And that's why it's hard to get him on any of these things that's going on currently. Because it can't be you need to do something, but then when they do something, they get criticized for it.
What I was saying, I don't want to make it seem like people that are using their voice are wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel like sometimes some of the things people can say, especially celebrities or big time people, it can come off as disingenuous just because of where they're coming from. We know the background background they have. We know what they do. We know the amount of money they have. And it's easy to come out and talk about issues when it doesn't necessarily affect you, but you kind of want to be part of the movement. Now, the thing that I always find funny is when there's always this mass hysteria going on, everybody wants to say something. Everyone wants to feel like they're, part of society, where everyone's doing the same things, talking about the same issues and trying to help out, I guess, in a sense.
Okay.
Now, once Black Lives Matter was over, I noticed there were so many people that just went silent. And then there are the people that continuously fight, the people that continuously talk about it. And that's when I know you truly care about this issue. I've never been a fan of that when things are going on and, everything is kind of up in a roar, that everyone wants to be part of it because it's popular.
But that's even normal people. That's even people that don't have as much money as, let's say, I don't know, Beyonce or whatever. But should it be like, we all know, for example, Jay-Z comes from poverty.
Yes.
Right? We all know this. I don't think that because you've worked your way to get money and have millions upon millions of dollars, does that mean that you don't understand? Because not every celebrity comes from wealth.
Nope.
And I don't think
most of them don't.
I don't think, like, if you were born into wealth, then yeah, you don't understand what it means to grind and to struggle. Not all the time, because there are wealthy parents out there who will make their kids earn that. Right. Fine. But we can't keep knocking people for trying. It can't be, you need to understand us, but then knock them because they are. Or it can't be, hey, you know what? All you're doing is talking, but you don't see, we're not with them every day. Yeah. We can't grind with them every day. So we don't understand exactly what it is that they're doing.
Go ahead, Matt.
Can I make a point about something? Because you said something that sparked something in my head about how people, more or less stop fighting after a certain period of time. A good example of this was that Blackout Tuesday thing.
That's what I was going to talk about.
When everybody put a black box on their Instagram for like a month and a half, and then after that month and a half, everybody deleted that black box on their Instagram page because it was an eyesore.
Yeah, because it didn't get enough likes.
Yeah.
Oh, mine is still there. Mine is still there.
I never did it. And the reason why I didn't do it, because first of all, what a lot of people didn't realize, all it was doing was fucking up the algorithm. It was stopping all those videos for protest. It was stopping everything because everyone was posting the same exact picture with the same exact hashtags, and it blew up. So whenever you looked up anything Black Lives Matter at the time for a little bit, it was nothing but black screens.
Yeah.
And that silences people. And I don't think people even understand that. That Black Tuesday thing, it was silencing a lot of motherfuckers.
It was silencing stuff in the news, too.
Yes,
that's all
people could see. My thing is, my civil rights, my basic human rights is not a popularity contest. It's not. It's not. It's not something you could play around with. It's not something that's cool at the time, and then once things start to die down, you can act like the shit never happened.
Yeah, but
that's the only thing that I was really trying to say. But I hate people that are disingenuous, and I'm speaking on this based off personal experience.
But what it's getting people to do though is have a conversation, because you know what? Whether we like it or not, all these things that happen on social media spark conversation.
Yes,
they spark the uncomfortable conversations. How else are we going to get through all of this? Yes, it sucks. Yes, people don't like to go on their feed and see all this shit that they don't want to see, or watch Sports Center and hear about political shit. Yes, it's uncomfortable and it sucks and you want to escape from all that shit. But these are conversations that have to be had. There cannot be change without struggle. We need to struggle through this shit to get to where we want to be. For our former president's slogan was, "Make America Great Again." I struggled with that because of my responses. At what point was it great and for who? But we have the potential to be great. And I don't want to sway too much into political shit. I just want to brush it real quick. In order to get to where we want to be, we have to talk about these things. We have to address it. White people are tired about hearing about Black Lives Matter and all the other fuckery because they can't understand the perspective. We also, as Black people,
you tired of hearing about it? Help us.
We also, as Black people, don't understand what it means to live as a white person and understand that it feels like everything that is being said, you have to shut up. You can't speak your mind because you're going to get canceled. You can't speak out against this because you get canceled. And what we need to fucking do is just meet in the middle.
Yeah. See, I've never had a problem with, I'm sorry, Matt, just real quick. I've never had a problem with anybody speaking out about Black Lives Matter, if you're white or not Black. I never had a problem with that. Never had a problem with that. But my big thing is that, can you take the time to listen? Can you take the time to understand where we're coming from? I know you don't get it, but I want to tell you how we're feeling. I want to explain to you where we're coming from, because even though we live in the same place, we go to the same schools and we go to the same stores, we buy the same things, we eat the same things, we live two completely different realities. Yeah, too. We do season our food. We do season our food.
Chicken, we don't boil it.
Salt and pepper is not enough. Don't put that shit in the grill with no seasoning on it. You can't not marinate the chicken and then put it in the oven. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, no.
Come on now.
No.
But us as black people, we just want y'all to hear us. We want y'all to understand that
I think
we're
everyone
coming from a
should be
different
heard.
perspective. Yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
Most
Even the things we
gay
don't like to
community
hear.
needs to be heard. White people need to be heard. Hispanic people, Asian people, Indian people, they all need to be heard. But if you try to silence them, then don't get upset. Don't get upset when you want people to speak up about issues, and they do, but you try to silence them, and then there's backlash.
Remember what you just said, sir. Okay.
Shut up and dribble.
I was
That's the first thing.
I was going to say that's a perfect segue
Yeah.
to something that I did over the weekend, and that was watch the movie Boyz N The Hood, because I heard it was a good movie, so I was like, you know what? I saw it was on TV. I recorded it on DVR because I couldn't watch it at the time. Watched the whole thing, and I had having been on this show and being a part of the show, I had a bit of an emotional response to it. You know, it kind of opened my eyes to some things, maybe tear up a little bit here.
So tell me how you felt about it.
I just, obviously it's a different time period, because I'm not sure if it's still like that more or less.
It's still like that. It's still
like that.
Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't live there at the same time as well. So it's just like, yes, it's a more or less a story, a fake Hollywood story,
right.
But at the same time, it's still a period piece, because that is what the reality of many African Americans was like, living in South Central Los Angeles, Compton, all those places.
That time more than anything, because the 90s.
I don't think it was the 90s. It was a 90s
That's a
movie.
90s
No,
It was an
because it
80s
came out in
but it was-
1992.
But it was an 80s
Yeah.
time period, which was even worse than the 90s,
Yeah.
so to say.
You know what?
No, I
I would
don't
say
think there's
I
any
wouldn't even
movies.
say that. I feel like in the 80s the drugs were just as bad,
Yeah.
but I feel like in the 90s
the
the
violence.
music and the violence got worse.
Well, I definitely think it ties both in.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
you have
definitely.
people that are dealing, or
I mean, think about what's going on in LA at that time. You got
Rodney
gangster rap, you got Rodney King, you got the OJ case, you had all these things going on at once. And then on top of that, you had East versus West Coast. You had Biggie and Tupac. You had Death Row and Bad Boys. Like all this shit kind of intertwined.
So it was a rough period for
It really was. I was
black
watching Menace to
community.
Society last night. and
I
it
have
was
to
the
watch
same
that
shit.
one too. But I really liked Lawrence Fishburne's character in that.
Yeah,
in that movie.
definitely.
I mean,
Talk about gentrification
Yeah,
and everything.
and I thought of you when I heard that, when he was going on that whole spiel at the.
When I talk about gentrification, I literally get it from that scene.
Exactly.
I get it from that
exactly.
scene.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people will make jokes about like, oh, he's a walking hotep, means stay woke, my brother, that sort of shit. But like at the same part, like, yes, there's memes of that, but like that's probably like the most genuine example of like people who were like that. Like even what was it? Ricky called him a mini Malcolm X or something something around
Nothing
those
wrong
lines.
with Malcolm X.
No, there's not. I mean,
I like Malcolm better than Martin. But
And I
we'll get
think
into that.
people need to just pay attention to the message. Like
Yes.
I understand
Yes.
BLM isn't everything we hoped it would be, but it shouldn't take a movement like that for us to have these uncomfortable conversations, to just understand one another. Really, all we have to do is empathize with one another, and we can go forward.
Yep.
And things could be better.
And this kind of ties into something you just mentioned before I started talking, where when I talked to you about where I was in the group chat saying, oh, I just watched that movie. It was really good. I learned a lot from it. And then you kind of started clowning me a little bit. So I'll be honest with you. I'll be genuinely honest with you. And I can say this to you as a friend and man to man, face to face, because I wasn't going to do this over text messages. I did not appreciate it.
I didn't either.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Damn,
I didn't either.
I didn't appreciate.
That's crazy.
I know it was comedic. I know it came from a good place, but at the same time, I was having a lot of emotions at that time, having just finished the movie, and I was just like, man, I thought he'd be a little proud of me.
And that's why.
First of all,
why I said what I said too.
Oh yeah, well, so I know it's directed towards me, so I'm gonna address it. First of all,
Go ahead.
You know I'm just fucking with you.
I know you're fucking with me, but at that point, it wasn't.
I was actually so happy that you watched that movie, because I try to get a lot of my white friends to watch, a lot of the John Singleton movies, like Baby Boy and Boyz N The Hood and movies like that, because you want to know what it's like for us please watch this shit. Please,
depicting.
y'all like watching movies. Y'all love being on TikTok and being on your phones. You like social media. Please watch this stuff because this is exactly what it's like. And if you think just because these movies came out in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or 60s or whatever, if you think things have really changed that much, like you think things are so much different, they really aren't. But now it gives you a different perspective. Now you can kind of see, oh shit. So this is what they were talking about. So this is what it feels like when they get pulled over by the police. So this is what it feels like in the black community.
You know what's fucked up that you mentioned the whole thing about the police? The two cops that were in the beginning of the movie that came during the the home invasion and what was Lawrence Fishburne's Furious. Furious shot at the guy and they took her sweet time getting there. It's the same fucking cops that pull over Ricky and what the fuck was his other name? Trey? Was it Trey? Yeah, they pull it's the black cop that pulls the gun on Trey, and it's the same two guys because I noticed this, and I'm not sure many people would notice this if they weren't paying attention. But I was like, God damn, that's fucked, man.
Did you notice?
And I don't know if he remembers that kid.
Did you notice? Did you notice the black cop was way worse than the white cop?
Sure was.
And did you also? I bet you didn't even realize that's really how it is.
Black police showing out for the white.
Black police showing out for the white cops, and that's pretty much that's
even
true.
The white cop is like, I ain't fucking with that.
It's a very good depiction of what it was like during slavery, where you had these to appease master, right? Black slaves would assume that, let's call it, position of authority over the lower slaves and be worse off than what their white master would.
If you've seen Django, there's nothing worse than
Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django.
I'm not even talking about Samuel L. Jackson's character. I'm talking about Django. Remember, he played the black slaver at one point.
Well, he had to
for his position, you know, trying to get his wife back. But black slavers were real.
Yeah.
And you know, that's like another side of history that people really don't talk about. The fact that there were black slaves during that time who gained power over their quote unquote equals and just to appease to the white man, not because, you know, they really didn't like black people. It was because they had been so damn brainwashed by the fact that they were like, all right, white people have all the power. I want to be like them. I want to be on their level. So I'm going to treat black people just as bad as they treat us. But at the same time, they still dealt with the same shit. They still didn't have the same rights. They got a little bit more. You know, maybe they got a little bit of the big piece of the chicken. You know, maybe they didn't get the scraps. You know what I'm saying? But it's stuff like that where you look at it and it's like, we don't hear about all this kind of stuff in history. You don't hear about this kind of stuff in school. So my challenge to white listeners, my challenge to white viewers is to look at this shit. You know, if you don't want us telling you a bunch of stuff all the time, you don't want to hear everybody talking and shit on social media and people using their platforms and all that kind of stuff, you don't want to hear that, fine. Watch it. Because it's there.
For me, it's
right in front of your face.
How can you continuously deny that this is someone's reality when people have been saying the same shit for decades,
over and over again?
And then I want to make a point about you going back to the whole thing between you and me and Boyz N The Hood. The whole thing of appreciation versus appropriation.
Yeah.
Yes, we did talk about that.
We touched on it a little bit in that group text, but I think it's safe that now that we're bringing it up, we can talk about it a little bit.
There is a fine line between appreciation and appropriation, right? And I've heard this phrase thrown out, and this isn't verbatim, but I've heard it. They love black culture, but they hate black people. Right? Everything about our culture. Little kids want to emulate us. They want to dance like us. They want to dress like us, but they don't love us.
You love our music. You love the way we dress. You love the way we talk. You love the way we wear our hair. You love the clothes that we put on, but you don't appreciate what we have.
It's hard for me to sometimes understand the plight of black people because my reality hasn't always been. Of course, I've had incidences in Germany. I've heard racist shit everywhere, but I've never been like, no one's ever directly been racist towards me, right? I've never really dealt with it. I've never been pulled over because, or at least to my knowledge, I've never been pulled over because I'm black. I've been pulled over because I was speeding.
Hey, Carrot Top again.
Oh man,
sorry.
Racist.
Racist.
Jail, motherfucker.
I'm
jail.
Listen,
I don't like white people.
There's something different I wanted to talk about. So I think all of us are pretty into movies. And
Generally, yeah.
I love movies.
I watch a movie every single day, at least 3 to 4. So
who would you say is, regardless of race, like let's step away from that for a little bit, who is your favorite actor?
Ooh.
I can't tell you that. I really don't.
Why would you do that to me?
You don't have you don't have one that stands out above them all. Like my favorite actor, hands down, is Denzel Washington.
I'd probably say Denzel too.
Denzel's a good choice.
I've never seen anybody
like who would be better? Who would you say is better than Denzel?
I wouldn't say
Tom Cruise.
No,
Hell
fuck
no.
The only person that, in my opinion, that comes close is like
Meryl
Leonardo.
Streep. Oh. Yeah.
I was gonna say Al Pacino, or even Robert De Niro.
And the Gabagool.
Even then, like so, I would choose. Yeah. So personally, after those two giants, out of Al Pacino and De Niro,
I'm taking Pacino.
I'm taking De Niro.
Really? Oh, now, why are you taking De Niro?
Either
Pacino?
one for me.
I want to know this because
for me, so they have classics, right?
Yes.
So, but De Niro's for me does it more and better. He does it better. So, what does Pacino have? The Godfather. And I can't believe
Scarface, Scent of a Woman.
But not only that, he has Carlito's Way.
Oh, Carlito's Way. I forgot about Carlito's.
Carlito's Way is a fucking gem. That shit makes me cry at the end every time. What else does he have? Heat, I think, was another one.
Yeah, he was good. But
if you've seen The Irishman, he's got the Irishman too.
I
liked
it. Was good. It was just long as fuck.
It was too long, and plus
agree.
the CGI was ass. They should have made him look younger. My thing with De Niro is that, De Niro, he's been in some of the biggest, greatest gangster movies of all time.
Yeah. Bronx Tale,
Goodfellas.
Rest in peace, Paul Sorvino.
Remember he was in Taxi Driver. I mean, Raging Bull. Meet the Parents series. Like he has range. The thing I like about De Niro and then I like about Denzel is that these dudes have range. Now I don't think I've seen Denzel in like a comedic role yet, for real. And he probably will get there now that he's getting older. Yeah. But I mean, look at the movies that he's been in. The Mighty Quinn, Philadelphia, Training Day, The Equalizer,
Fences.
Book of Eli, Fences,
Glory.
I mean, he has.
What's the one where he's a pilot?
Flight.
Yeah.
Flight.
I don't think I've seen
He's assumed so many different roles.
I got one.
Oh.
Who's up there? Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks.
100%.
Tom Hanks.
Woody.
100%.
Tom Hanks is a beast.
I mean, he's a great voice actor. You got Big, you got Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, The Green Mile. You can go on and on and on about him.
Classic. Leo too. I like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean,
why did it take for him so long to get an Oscar? And why? I like The Revenant, but I don't know. Like, I feel like if there was going to be any movie that he was going to win an Oscar on, it should have been Django. Django or Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street should have won.
Wolf of Wall Street, actually.
I mean, you can go on and on. Inception, Titanic, like Basketball Diaries.
Yeah,
like,
what about Morgan Freeman?
Samuel L. Jackson too.
Samuel L. Jackson's too underrated, bro. I'm sorry because he's the thing that people don't even know about Samuel L. Jackson. Let me give Sam Jackson some praise. Yes. First of all, he was in so many smaller roles. Coming to America, Goodfellas, Menace to Society.
Was he in Goodfellas?
Yes, he was in Goodfellas.
Because I can never tell if that's him or not.
If you remember,
he Stax.
Yes, he was Stax. He got shot. That was him. But you would never know because he's been in so many small roles, and then he broke out in Jungle Fever. That's when he broke out, and then right after that, he had Pulp Fiction, and then it was a third Die Hard, and then after that, he just kept Shaft, another great movie. I mean, Kingsman, another good movie.
Shawshank fucking Carter.
Yeah, Coach Carter was amazing.
I love that.
He wasn't in Shawshank. No, that was Morgan Freeman.
But
all black people don't look the same, hoochie man.
Racist.
Now here's my question: what about actresses? What about
shit? That's hard.
So,
what is
Barbra Streisand is up there?
Yeah.
Halle Berry is up there.
Oh, we all know I love Halle Berry.
You need to do your little monologue again about Halle Berry.
I don't have Barry White pulled up, unfortunately. I can't do it today.
What's her? The chick from
not Amy Schumer.
V for Vendetta. What's her name?
No, I don't know.
She plays Luke Skywalker. She plays Padme.
Oh, Natalie Portman.
Oh, yes. Natalie Portman's amazing. Natalie Portman's amazing.
I got one good for you too. Julia Roberts.
Yes, but here's the thing: Julia Roberts hasn't been in movies in years.
Fucking Roberts, my boy. I love her. Julia fucking Roberts.
I've never seen Mike simp so hard for a white woman.
Pretty woman walking down the street. Pretty woman. I'm dead. Yo, listen. I have loved Julia Roberts since I was like 7. I think that was my first like celebrity crush. Julia Roberts has been it for me probably since that movie. Love that. I'm gonna go home and watch it.
I just thought about something that we can talk about.
Viola Davis. That's my last one.
Oh yes.
That's my
I don't think I've
last
seen
one.
enough movies from her.
Oh,
Yes.
bro, everything she's in is fantastic.
She
Who is
just
she?
kills
Where
it.
is
trailer?
she in?
Did I send y'all a trailer of the new movie that's just coming out by the
yeah.
Warrior Tribe? Oh yeah.
Yes.
That actually
yes.
Viola Davis was in she was in Fences. She was
I don't think
she
I've
was
seen that
Denzel's wife in Fences.
I want to say something because I love historical pieces, and that shit looks like it's pretty historically accurate, or at least it's a historical movie. We all got to see that shit.
Yes,
at some point.
Let's go watch
agree.
it.
I say we all
When's
get
that coming
tickets
out again?
somewhere. When is it coming out?
I don't remember, but I'll
It's definitely
find
this
out.
year, I think.
I'll find out, and then we'll go watch it.
Yes.
But you know what? Here's another movie that actually dropped recently, or the trailer dropped recently, that I want your opinions on. And that's Black Panther 2.
Black Panther.
Okay.
Oh, I
okay,
didn't.
because
I didn't see
so
that
you're
one yet.
because I found your reaction, Daint, interesting because you said flat out, I'm not excited for it. Why is that?
Don't hold on before you go. Don't get me wrong. That was one of the best movie trailers I've ever seen. Swear to God, I've ever seen. I've seen some great trailers, but Thames music, just the whole vibe, the aura of that trailer was crazy.
That shit was sad.
It made me feel something. Like,
I mean,
I felt some black excellence in my body
without even knowing, right? You know, his name is slipping my mind.
Chadwick Boseman.
You know that he's not in here, but the way they portrayed it, you see like something happened to him in the movie, and they're going to address it.
Yes.
So I like the way they did it. I personally am very excited for it. There's a lot of scenes because I've always been like a Marvel fan, but I've never been too much. Wolverine was my favorite Marvel character growing up. It was not Black Panther. So I don't know a lot about Black Panther's character as far as the comics go and how Marvel has addressed it. So there's a lot of things that go on in the Black Panther universe that I am ignorant to because I don't know a lot about it. So I'm excited to learn and see how they address it and how they did the movie without Chadwick.
Now, I know good and well Ryan Coogler is going to do a bang-up job in this movie. If you guys don't know who Ryan Coogler is, look at his resume. Black Panther, the Creed movies, Fruitvale Station. He has directed Michael B. Jordan's best movies by a mile. Now, I know he's going to...
Is he going to be coming in as Killmonger, or is that not...
No, I have no idea. The only way I could ever see Killmonger even coming back to this movie if they do some what-if shit. It's like a different universe. But I hope they don't do that.
See, I think they could because we were left to assume that Killmonger died, right? We never... His death isn't confirmed, but we assume based on how they did the scene, which I thought was excellent, it's almost like they fucking knew, right? You assume that Killmonger's
Matt's got something to say.
I know I'm going to get chastised on this podcast too, but I still haven't seen Black Panther. So
the fuck have you been doing over the past 4 years?
Listen,
I don't want to hear it.
That's one of the best Marvel movies ever.
I don't like the MCU. I don't like Marvel movies. They're
all
not.
right, okay,
They're not my,
okay.
They're just
So
not my kind of movie.
I get that.
But I've said this to you guys on other
why,
podcasts.
if you may say, why?
I just find them to be formulaic.
You're a Star Wars fan, aren't you?
I am.
Pussy.
I love Star Wars.
But hold on a second.
You.
But it's not even just about Star Wars. I like historical pieces, I guess you could say.
Star Wars is not historical.
But it's not historical.
R2-D2's my favorite.
But I know Star Wars, like that's like the only bit of sci-fi I'll maybe go into.
I understand. I like superheroes. So at first, I was always a big DC fan because I was like their heroes better. But the movies, DC movies suck. MCU has it.
is fucking up because they have the potential to supersede fucking Marvel, and they're letting Marvel just shit all over.
You know what movie I think is gonna save DC Universe?
Don't say Aquaman 3.
No.
Or 2, whatever.
Black Adam.
Oh yeah.
Black Adam. Finally having a big time A-list actor as a lead role in one of their movies.
Hold on.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson right now, everyone knows he's pretty much the most popular actor in the whole universe right now.
Yeah.
He pretty much is.
Him
being
What the Rock is
cooking.
And as a wrestling fan, I can do that. So
him being Black Adam is huge for the DC universe.
Yeah.
It's gonna bring people into the movies. And the other thing is, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is more than just a big, good-looking Samoan dude. He's a great actor.
Yes.
He's a great actor.
Yes.
I mean, Gridiron Gang all the way down to here. He's a great actor.
And the thing is, like, I think it's kind of paying homage to the black half of him because keep in mind, his dad, Rocky Johnson, was African American.
Yes.
So this is like, I'm sure this is personal for him too, that he now has to represent an entire community with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
I also think if it's like rated R or something, I'll watch
Superman?
it.
I think he did a great job. I thought Superman was
Henry
great.
Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
I've seen every Superman movie that was ever made.
You didn't like
all corny.
You didn't like his depiction of Superman?
No, I didn't like.
I thought it was good.
I don't know what it is with
The
DC movies, but the CGI is so cheesy
The
to me.
CGI in which one was it? The one where what's the guy that was in Seven? The villain in Seven. Have you seen that movie? Seven.
I haven't seen
the
Seven.
one with the movie
with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Yeah,
I was actually starting to watch that.
Seven's
last
a good
week. I didn't get
fucked up movie.
I heard it was
it's
good.
like a side thriller type. It fucks with you. Like all that shit could actually happen. It's weird as fuck. Anyway, he was in a movie where he played Lex Luthor, right? And one of the scenes, someone shoots a bullet at Superman, and it like hits his eyeball and crushes. And I thought that was lame as fuck.
Yeah,
It's probably the lamest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I don't like previous Supermans, even with Christopher Reeves. I thought those were lame as fuck
those
too.
are cheesy. Now I got a question for you. You're an MCU fan. We're talking about MCU. Did you see Thor: Love and Thunder?
Not yet.
Oh my God. People, let me tell you something. The opening scene of Thor: Love and Thunder.
Don't ruin it for me.
No, I'm not going to tell you about it, but holy shit.
Yeah.
That shit was dope.
I'm ready to see Jane as Thor.
Once again, oh yeah, Jane as the Mighty Thor was dope. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, her lines are hella corny the entire movie, but that's kind of her character.
That's the part Natalie Portman
that's
played?
that's Natalie Portman's character.
Fine,
the
too.
movie soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't it all
Guns
just
N'
Guns N'
Roses. Guns N' Roses. I love that band. I love that band.
Yes.
I mean, they opened it up with Welcome to the Jungle. Now, that's all I'm going to say. They opened that movie up with Welcome to the Jungle. That opening scene goes crazy. Now, what a lot of people don't like, in which I kind of felt the same way with Thor: Love and Thunder. This is the first Marvel movie I could say they overdid it with the comic relief. It was too much.
Okay.
It was. We all know how Korg is in the movies. You know, he's the comic relief. You know, shout out Taika. He's awesome. I fuck with him heavy. He's done a great job in all his Marvel movies directing. But there was too much comic relief. It was like there are moments that are really needed to be serious, and they were trying to be funny. And that's the only thing I didn't like about that movie. And of course, you know, the comic book heads are like, this is not how it went in the comics. That's not how. Listen, what you gotta understand, what people gotta get is that if you're going to make a cinematic film,
which is
completely different from a comic book medium, it's two different things. You can't make it just like the comics. How's it gonna be better?
All I'm going to say is this: the people that complain about it from the comic side of things don't get pussy. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Are comics
People
still
don't
a
get
thing?
pussy.
Like, are comic books still a thing?
Apparently so.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, they're still a thing.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
Definitely are a thing. I don't really. I've never was a comic book guy, so.
I never was either. That's why
I don't read comic books.
DC or
I watch
Marvel,
movies.
none of that. I was never in.
Didn't give a
any of
fuck.
that.
Didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
What y'all got coming for the weekend? Any major plans?
I got nothing. I mean,
Yes.
I'm going out with a buddy tonight, but I mean, other than that, I'm just prepping for my new job that I got, which starts next
fantastic.
week. So
It is my
Motorboat
girlfriend's
Matt.
birthday weekend, so you know I'm going back and forth to Philly.
He's
over
working
next
on the
couple
weekend
days.
like usual.
Yeah. Slave
I feel
for your
so
job.
bad for you because like we do all these things, and then you can never make it. Like for instance, the whiskey
Yeah.
recording because you couldn't make it because you were working. I would have loved to have seen your reaction to some of the stuff we were talking about.
I feel like Hunter would have been way more silent than I was.
Oh my god! See, yours the reaction I wanted to see the most, but I knew you weren't there, so I couldn't get it. So I got it from you, though, so that's all I needed.
Yo, man, I mean, this man showed me a lock that you put on your penis you can't take off for a week. Yeah. What the fuck?
That was wild. That you can't take it off. Like, no one can take it off once it's locked until the time is up.
All right, folks.
Time is up.
That's it, man. We are out for this week's episode of the Bromigos Podcast. I am the undercover brother.
Panama Red, yeah.
It's Dante, baby.
Hoochie Manhunter. A paddle is better than a tree branch.
Shit on that way, yo.
Peace.
We gonna catch y'all.
You've been listening to the Bromigos Podcast.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Avena!